So, who did see this coming? The Denver Nuggets are up 3-0 against the Lakers, and it was an incredible game. And let's go through this game, talk about what we saw, what we didn't see, and let's have some fun with it. So, what I don't understand is why D'Angelo Russell is still starting. I thought they could have gone Vanderbilt and Schroeder and sacrificed the offense for the defense. And considering the way D'Angelo Russell has been playing this series, you are not sacrificing that much offense either way. And if you wanted to go a little more offense, you could have gone Schroeder instead of D'Lo and Rui instead of Vanderbilt, and it could have worked maybe, but I don't blame Darvin Ham for this. Even though by my metrics, I think that could have worked a little more against Denver. But in the end, it didn't matter. And Denver was off to a perfect start, man. Jamal Murray was getting whatever he wanted by any means necessary. And especially considering he was playing against D'Angelo Russell and they are abusing him on defense. They just want him in every action and just want to go at D'Angelo Russell, and it has been working wonders. And then Jamal Murray caught a rhythm. He had 30 points in this first half, which was just sensational. And the refs let them play, considering... And I thought the referees did a really good job in this first half. They were as fair as it gets, and I thought it was fairly officiated. What I also loved is that Jokic and Jamal inverted pick and roll we saw. That was great. That opened up Jokic for a wide open three, and I think it happened in a similar way in the fourth quarter where Jokic hit that one after the Lakers cut it back to 7 with like 3 minutes to go, which was great. And Jamal was on fire so much that they put LeBron on him in that second quarter at the end of it, and it did work a little better, even though Jamal was still getting some fairly good looks, just not making every single one of them as he was before, because that's a bad goddamn man. What a player Jamal Murray is. And it's great that he's gonna have something else than the bubble, and we can finally just call him playoff Murray instead of bubble Murray, because the guy has proved himself so much in these playoffs, and I'm so happy for him, because the guy is just hooping and playing high level basketball, which... what is better than that for us basketball fans, right? As much as we have to praise Jamal Murray for that first half, let's also say that Nikola Jokic was really rough in that first half. He had a really bad first half. Probably his worst half these playoffs. He was just really bad. Was short on pretty much everything, it felt like. And just looked rough on offense. Had some foul calls against him. So it was a bad storm for Jokic. And what kept the Nuggets ahead in this first half was that they didn't turn the ball over. They had pretty much... I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2 turnovers in the first half, but it was so low. The number was just pretty much non-existent, while the Lakers did give up like 8 or 9 turnovers, and all of them led to some fast break points pretty much, which of course transition defense is the Lakers' biggest weakness pretty much. So so that was something. And then the third quarter happened, and I felt like, man, the refereeing there was just a little rough. Like I said, I thought the whistle was fairly great in the other halves, but in the third quarter, I thought the refs got the call from Adam Silver and said, hey, Lakers, hey, I can blame them. The Lakers are one of the best teams at drawing fouls at the same time, so it's hard to balance that out. But shout out to Denver for keeping their composure, even though, yeah, they were complaining, and... maybe it would help. Maybe it's what helped them keep their composure, because they complained, they got their anger out of them, and they stayed ready and locked in, and they still had to lead. Despite in the third quarter, Jokic having to sit down with 4 fouls with like 6 minutes to go, or 7 even minutes to go in that third quarter after that phantom call on him. So that was incredible. MPJ stepped up huge. Aaron Gordon had some really good passing game tonight, and he was pretty solid. Bruce Brown continues to be the guy I thought he was, and I knew it, man. I just so happy that I saw Bruce Brown through. And hey, if you watched the playoffs last year, he was just sensational for the Nets also. So shout out Bruce Brown. He's been proving me right, which is so great to see. And also KCP kept them in it in that third quarter. He made some huge shots in that third quarter, and he wants his revenge on LA. And they all just have that chip on their shoulder, it feels like, from Denver, and it's great to see. It's great to see. And in that fourth quarter, they kept their composure. They played some really good defense, made the extra passes, and knocked down wide open 3-pointers. The extra pass was huge there. The ball movement was so clean. Bruce Brown got a wide open 3-pointer. MPJ got a wide open 3-pointer. Jokic got some really good looks, and he was more aggressive in that fourth quarter. He said it's go time. I wasn't great in these first two fourth quarters in this series, so I'm gonna take over this one, and he did pretty much. So shout out to him. The Lakers also missed a lot of free throws, which didn't help them. They couldn't knock down those wide open shots. For example, D'Lo, right? He pretty much was just missing everything. And AD wasn't seen as much in that fourth quarter, it felt like. LeBron tried, and he at least shot fairly alright from the three-point line. He was 3 of 9 tonight, but you could see his body is just not up to the task as much as it used to be, right? And it makes sense, he's 30 goddamn 8 years old, so I can't blame LeBron for that. But the Nuggets just look like the better team, and they are probably the better team, right? They're the number one seed for a reason, and a lot of us underestimated them. I had them in the Western Conference Finals losing to the Warriors, but that was clear bias, and I still think the Warriors could have, without the turmoil, I still think the Warriors could have been here, but I still wouldn't have picked the Warriors after these two series against the Nuggets. I think the Warriors would have gotten smacked by these Nuggets at the same... Probably near the same the Lakers are getting smacked by these Nuggets, to be quite honest with you. So, hey, the best team all year is winning the conference so far, and unless they blow a 3-0 lead, which has never happened before, and it would be crazy, they are going to go to the finals and be the representation that the Western Conference deserves, because they were just the best team throughout the year. They are playing the best basketball in these playoffs, and it's great to see. And last but not least, let's give a shout out to Dennis the Flopper for another beautiful flop as he gives up a wide open three-pointer in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Dennis. I despise you.